The Genius Club with Prairie Pine. Chapter 45. Confirmation. The swirling fallen leaves on the ground were scattered by the wind, drifting farther and farther away. Alex turned around and left the parking lot. After returning to the company, Alex went straight to his office and took out the manuscript marked by Ethan from the drawer. There were about 4 or 5 red circles on it, marking the suspected errors and omissions. Alex planned not to come to the company in the afternoon. He would fall asleep during the day and go to the library in his dream to correct these copied chemical reaction formulas. Moreover, there's something more important that needs confirmation, he muttered. He paced back and forth in the office, tapping the manuscript against his thigh, his mind racing with thoughts. Now that Ethan had solved the ice crystal problem, it would only be a matter of time before this news was announced. From this point on, time, space, and history had changed. The once established trajectory had shifted, and the future should also be rewritten accordingly. If my previous inference is correct, then the future world in my dream must also undergo some subtle changes, Alex thought to himself. Just like the Kit Kat in my previous dreams, after I intervened in the real world and renamed it Rhine Cat, the Kit Kat in my dreams also turned into Rhine Cat. Alex stopped pacing and looked out the window at the busy traffic below. In the original history, the ice crystal problem was solved by Dr. Michelson in 2477. But, according to the current history, Ethan had already solved it as early as 2022. Under such circumstances, could Dr. Michelson still hold on to his title as the father of hibernation? Shouldn't he make room for Ethan? Alex had a strong premonition. The historical records in the dream must have changed. This is also the strongest evidence that I have changed history and rewritten the future. The bitter cold wind outside the window howled, slamming against the steel windows with a clanging sound. Bathed in the light, Alex seemed to catch a glimpse of a butterfly fluttering in his peripheral vision. It only fluttered its wings slightly, yet it was enough to stir up a devastating storm in the 600-year-long river of time and space. After returning home, Alex ordered takeout to casually fill his stomach, preparing to fall asleep during the day and go to the library again. This time, he could finally thoroughly verify the truth of his dreams. Had the butterfly effect of time and space occurred as he had thought? Had history and the future been successfully rewritten? Everything would be revealed after this dream. Alex opened the manuscript marked by Ethan, refreshing his memory of the incorrect parts once more. Then he lay down on the bed. "Let's go," he said, turning over and closing his eyes. Indy, Senti, Ida the Wait, Itain, Ting, Ein, Sten, and me. Whoosh! The sweltering summer wind and unbearable heat hit him instantly. The moment Alex opened his eyes and saw the scorching sun, beads of sweat had already formed on his forehead. He ran all the way to the bus stop, took the bus to the library, and headed straight for the science book section on the 3rd floor. He had been here several times before, so he was already familiar with the way. Alex looked at the spot on the bookshelf where Dr. Michelson's book, A Brief Analysis and Outlook on Hibernation Technology, used to be. "It's gone," he said, smiling as he had expected. Now that Ethan had solved the ice crystal problem in 2022, the title of Father of Hibernation would probably not go to Dr. Michelson, who lived 400 years later. Alex searched carefully from left to right again. "It's really gone." In an instant, Alex let out a sigh of relief, feeling a heavy burden lifted off his shoulders. Now it was confirmed. His previous guess had been correct. Since Ethan had verified that the knowledge and formulas were completely correct, and now Dr. Michelson's book had disappeared, it proved that the dream was indeed the real future world, 600 years later. His actions in the real world could really rewrite the future and change the dream world. This was truly good news, meaning he had made further progress in exploring the dream world and finally fully understood its truth. But at the same time, it also confirmed a bad news. The Genius Club really existed. It had been hidden in the mist of history as early as 22, secretly stirring up the river of history for a time span of 600 years. Just thinking about this name, Alex felt as if a huge black hand covering the sky was attacking him from behind. He had originally thought it was an existence far away from him, but the invitation to the Genius Club from Emma was right in front of him, within reach. According to Big Face Cat's words, this was an evil criminal organization. What was their purpose? What form did their gatherings take? What would happen if he joined them? What would happen if he refused? Would Emma join the Genius Club? Emma was not a genius or a big shot, so why did she receive an invitation? The Genius Club was too mysterious. So mysterious that people knew nothing about it. It was like a dark black hole. Just a glance would pull you into an abyss by the black hand of history. For now, without Dr. Michelson's book, he had to find a new breakthrough. He believed that someone would eventually replace Dr. Michelson as the father of hibernation and develop the hibernation chamber filling liquid. After all, technology would not regress. Alex took the elevator directly back to the first floor of the library, found an unused computer, typed, "How far has hibernation technology developed?" into the search engine and pressed the enter key. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The computer was still lagging, and several antivirus software in the lower right corner were still fighting fiercely, no one knowing who would ultimately prevail. After a while, the web page loaded. Alex looked at first result. To this day, the hibernation chamber has still not been successfully developed. Technological breakthroughs in the field of hibernation only appeared briefly around 2200 when academician Goldman successfully developed the hibernation chamber filling liquid. In the hundreds of years since then, there have been no further technological breakthroughs in the field of hibernation. Sure enough, the hibernation chamber still hasn't been successfully developed, Alex said, not at all surprised by this result. After all, the materials he had given Ethan were copied incorrectly, so the impact on the real world and the future was small. It only advanced the invention time of the hibernation chamber filling liquid by more than 200 years. Academician Goldman. Alex looked at this unfamiliar name. Presumably, the title of Father of Hibernation had probably been transferred from Dr. Michelson to Academician Goldman. Fortune favors the diligent in turns, Alex thought. After I copy Academician Goldman's papers back this time, maybe the next time I come to the dream, the father of hibernation will be named after Ethan. Alex couldn't help but imagine. If Ethan successfully developed the hibernation chamber filling liquid in 2022, what kind of sci-fi scene would the future 600 years later become? Why? Galaxy warships? Galaxy roaming? Space voyages? At that time, the world in my dreams will definitely become more interesting, right?